Self-care is a very active and powerful choice to engage in activeness that are required to gain or maintain an optimal level of overall health. And in case, overall health includes not just the physical, but psychological, emotional, social, and spiritual components of individual well-being. So, nandito is self-care. Pinapakita dito kung paano natin na-maintain yung kagandahan ng ating katawan, hindi lang panglabas, kung hindi pangloob din. Includes din siya kung paano natin inaalagaan yung sarili natin, kung paano natin pinapatunayan, kung paano natin pinapahalagahan. Back in 1980s, the term self-care was coined by healthcare professionals to encourage patients and clients to engage in a healthy lifestyle choices and stress management. Those professionals saw that a holistic approach to healthcare offers individuals the opportunity to maximize their healthcare outcomes. In the beginning, the recognition were fairly obvious instructions that the most of us familiar with. So, back in 1980s, parang iba yung tawag sa self-care. Then, parang marami pang professional na pinag-aaralan ng self-care. Hindi lang sa doctors or professional sa mga health, hindi maraming paraan kung paano nila pinag-aaralan yung salitang self-care. Kung hindi emotional, ika nga nila, professional, it's either emotional, physical, or spiritual. Prescription for self-care includes direction to exercise, eat well, practice good hygiene, and avoid hazards such as smoking, drinking, over time. So, professional integrated more holistic and approach to health care in their practices. Self-care's recommendation beg in to include components of mental and spiritual well-being such as therapy, life coaching, prayer, and meditation, and social engagement. For the professionals, they used to learn how to manage our daily life. So, example doon is exercise, eat well practices, and good hygiene, avoid hazards. So, doon natin malalaman kung paano natin aalagaan ang ating mga sarili sa pang-araw-araw. So, ina-avoid din nila tayo sa mga maling gawain or mga unhealthy things na pwede natin gawin kagaya ng smoking, drinking of alcohol, or taking drugs. Ayun. So, they encourage of everyone to use, if we stress, we use meditation, praying, or taking a therapy to a therapist. So, ayun nga, kailangan natin siya doon para matulungan natin yung sarili natin at mapalagahan natin. People understand that stress is more manageable when they're feeling happy, healthy, love, and peace. However, understanding what is good for doesn't necessarily translate into actual behaviors. There are a number of recommendations for each component of an individual health. Be aware, however, that self-care is highly personal endeavor, so each suggestion may not necessarily resonate with you. So, ibig sabihin dito is, we need to understand stress more than manageable when they feeling happy. So, hindi nila kayang intindihin yung sarili nila. Hindi nila alam kung paano nila ma-manage yung pagiging masaya nila, pagiging malungkot, pagiging healthy.
Physical self-care. Taking care of the body is what self-care concepts are based upon. Self-care for the body includes those activities that doctors usually recommend to patients, such as sticking to guidelines for body fat percentage and caloric intake, drinking enough water, sleeping at least 7 hours per night, and exercising regularly. For a nation that is experiencing a prescription narcotic epidemic, it may also mean addressing chronic pain issues comprehensively and at their source rather than just popping pills. So physical self-care is all about taking care of ourselves physically. Best example for that is having enough sleep, around 7 to 8 hours a day. Pagbabawas ng mga calorie intake, and exercise regularly. So that's all about physical self-care. Next is psychological self-care. Taking care of the mind is just as important as taking care of the body. Even if recommended activities for psychological self-care vary between individuals, for those who have mental health disorder, psychological self-care may mean taking medications and using therapy as prescribed by a psychiatrist. It may also require learning how to combat negative self-talk and addressing the emotions and psychological triggers that lead to feelings of defeat in relationships or the workplace. So sabi dito, ang psychological self-care daw ay para din pag-aalaga sa physical healthcare natin. Wherein, dito naman sa psychological self-care, nakatutok siya kung paano natin alagaan yung mental health natin. For example, if you know na, let's say, diagnosed ka sa isang health condition or mental health condition, we ask for advice to those psychiatrists na matutulungan tayo kung paano natin i-heal yung sakit na yun.
Emotional self-care is highly related to psychological self-care because there is overlap between the psyche and the emotions. For people who are experiencing a great deal of stress or bereavement, emotional self-care may involve taking the time to properly grieve the loss of relationship or loved one. It may mean journaling about anger or talking about analyzing feelings with a friend or counselor. Certainly, it means addressing any depression that makes it difficult to leave the house when adults do not have a strong understanding of their emotional needs. But emotion deeply impact relationships, careers, and physical self-care, which focus kung paano ba pinapahalagaan ang sarili, pinapahalagaan ang sarili at na pinahalagaan yung emotions natin. Like kung paano ba tayo mag-isip ng way to cope stress, paano ba natin i-express yung emotion natin. Self-care, if all a person ever does his work, it's difficult to practice social self-care. Social self-care involves just having fun with the people you love. It may mean going out to coffee with the best friend or planning fabulous date night with your spouse. It means talking effectively through conflict and addressing the emotional needs of the people you love. The time for social self-care is now because you never know how long you have with the ones you love. Furthermore, socializing helps create positive health outcomes.
Spiritual self-care, even if you don't practice the faith, it's possible to practice spiritual self-care. Spiritually, it is about both faith and meaning in life. Providing spiritual self-care may mean spending time in a prayer, meditation, or getting on a walk to complicate purpose and meaning. It may be involved mixing tune for communal worship in religious settings. Regardless of how you find meaning and purpose in life, spiritually can build social support and peace, psychological, emotional distress. Dito pinapakita kung paano yung tinutulungan natin yung inner core natin, like spiritual natin, kung paano natin lilinisin at pinapangalagaan natin ang spiritual natin, which is ito ang mga pangtulong natin doon is pumupunta tayo ng churches, nagdadasal tayo, or nagpapatulong tayo sa kahit anong mga doktor para lang malinisan yung utak natin, or magpapa-cleansing tayo. Ayun yung ibig sabihin ng spiritual self-care, para inaalagaan mo yung spirito mo. What is wellness? Wellness, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity by World Health Organization 2014, and a conscious, self-directed, and evolving process achieving full potential by National Wellness Institute, US 2012.
When witnessing someone else suffering or hardship, you may be moved by their pain. You may be moved enough to offer comfort, concern, and well wishes. Take for example, a homeless man on the street when encouraging him. You may notice his pain and wonder if under different circumstances, your life you could have turned out the same way. Fueled by compassion, you offer assistance of someone kind in the form of $2, or maybe you can offer buying him a sandwich in a nearby place. Compassion for her in her situation leads to you offer a listening ear, a comforting hug, or maybe some kind of words or encouragement. It is the extension of kindness, care, warmth, and understanding instead of criticism towards oneself when faced with shortcomings and inadequacies or failures.
A holistic approach to wellness. The National Wellness Institute, or US, proposes a holistic wellness model, 6 dimensions of wellness. First is physical wellness entails body health, biological health. Best example for that is sleep, exercise, and nutrition, calming the body, healing through movement and music. So, sabi dito, one of the holistic approach daw na meron is about physical wellness, which is para din siyang physical self-care where inaalagaan natin yung sarili natin physically. We aim to be physically fit. And next is social wellness, entails good relationships, interaction with other people such as friends and family, yung relationships with colleagues, attending social gatherings. So, dito naman sa social wellness is more on nakikipag-interact tayo sa ibang tao para maging aware din tayo or makisalamuha din sa ibang tao, which is sa friends, family, peers, or sa colleagues natin. Next is intellectual wellness, entails psychological cognitive needs, staying positive, self-reflection, gain more knowledge. Under that is curiosity in one's work, collaborating with those from other professions, and getting involved. So dito naman sa intellectual wellness is ini-involve natin yung sarili natin na makisalamuha sa ibang tao or maging curious sa kung ano ba yung ginagawa ng ibang tao, wherein dun din tayo nag-gain ng mas madaming knowledge. Next is spiritual wellness, entails reflection, spirituality, peace, balance, and inspiration. So, katulad lang din siya ng intellectual wellness, parehas lang sila ng ini-aim wherein peace, balance, and inspiration. Next is emotional wellness, entails good emotions, expressions, self-forgiveness. So, dito sa emotional wellness is katulad lang siya ng social, intellectual, wherein ini-aim ito na magkaroon tayo ng good impression sa isang tao or kung paano tayo magre-react sa mga bagay. Lastly is occupational wellness, entails the aspect of our work, setting up boundaries, and work-life balance. So sa occupational wellness is tinuturuan natin yung sarili natin na maging balanse sa labas ng trabaho at sa loob ng trabaho. Wherein natututunan natin kung paano i-separate ang trabaho sa ibang bagay.
Self-efficacy. According to Bandura, self-efficacy refers to people's knowledge or belief that they are capable of performing those behavior of tasks that will produce desired outcome in any particular situation. So, in self-efficacy po, on my own opinion, is parang dito na ilalabas ng tao yung knowledge nila or tiwala nila sa sarili nila na kaya nilang gawin yung mga bagay na hindi naman nilang nagagawa pa dati. So, hindi siya po pwedeng ma-organize or hindi mo siya naiisip na nagawa mo na. So, nakakatulong siya for yourself na yung instinct ng isang tao na efficacy mo na. Sources of self-efficacy mastery experience. Past successes and failures of similar situation as perceived by individual. The increased efficacy and the success must be attributed to ability, effort, choices, and strategies of individual, not to lack or extensive help from others. Parang doon napapatunayan na parang nagagawa mo siya by your own. Yung hindi ka humihingi ng tulong sa ibang tao or nagagawa mo siya by your own self. Number 2, vicarious experiences. Seeing other people like you succeed on a task or reach a goal that is similar to the one you face. So dito, on my own opinion po is, ito yung parang nakaharap mo na siya na nagawa mo. Parang yung challenges mo, kunwari sa boxing, nagkasuntukan kayo, so natalo ka. So mangyayari is, nagawa mo siya sa other na kalaban mo na natalo mo. Parang ganun yung example. Social persuasion, encouragement, formation, feedback, useful guidance from the trust sources. Parang, ito yung parang pinagkakatiwalaan mo lang yung isang sarili or oneself lang. Ayun yung pagkakaintindi ko. Then, psychological arousal is parang, ito yung kagustuhan mo or inner self mo na excitement. Na parang naranasan mo, gusto ulit maranasan gamit ang nervous system, parang mataas yung adrenaline mo, serotonin, like that, like mga nerve organs. Other related concepts, self-esteem regards or feeling of having respect for yourself and your abilities. So, yung self-esteem is, kagaya ko, is pagka yung inaangat ko yung sarili ko na nagawa ko to, or parang may maganda sa katawan ko, pinipilit ko yung sarili ko na maging maganda, or ibig sabihin ng self-esteem is parang inaangat mo yung sarili mo o ginagaslight mo yung sarili mo. So, locus of control refers to the person perceived control over events in life. Parang dito yung parang pumapasok yung mga nangyari sa buhay mo. Like, ano yung mga nakaranasan mo or trauma, or mga nangyayari talaga ng mga particular events sa buhay mo na experience mo. Like, may namatay, or nasubsob ka, or mga bagay na nagulat ka. Ganun. Types of locus of control. Internal locus of control. People with a high internal focus of control believe that they can influence events and their outcomes. People attribute result of events in their life come primarily from their action. Example, when a student failed in an exam, he didn't study enough. When student got high grading, attribute outcome to his or her ability to study. So, dito, yung mga example is sinapakita na kung ano yung mga consequences mo. Kung hindi mo siya napilit na gawin, like, kagaya nga nito ng exam, baksak siya kasi hindi siya nag-aral. So, yung isang example is, basta siya kasi nag-aral siya. Ganun kasimple. Second, external locus of control. People with a high external focus of control blame outside force for their everything. They attribute events to environmental traits of causes. Example, student failed in exam test, question were hard difficulty. Student high got score, teacher was lenient, or student just lucky. So, dito parang pinakita na parang baksak yung estudyante kasi kadahilan ng hirap talaga yung question. So, hirap siya, hindi niya maintindihan, neither like example sa math. So, yung isa is nakapasa siya dahil baka naswertihan niya lang na alam niya yon or nagkaroon siya ng stock knowledge between that exam. Kaya siya nagkaroon ng sagot or nakapasa siya.
For the type of goals, we have here the performance goals, leadership goals, and life goals. So for the performance goal, it refers to the actual tasks and projects to be completed. They concern your work accomplished over a specific time period. So, yung performance goal is a type of goal daw na kailangan natin i-achieve kasi nga meron itong specific time. Let's say, sa project natin, na mga reporting, meron tayong time na ini-aim doon para mapasa yung video reporting so that ma-avoid natin na mali yung pagpasa ng reporting. So, ayun yung tinatawag na performance goals. So, for the leadership goals, Leadership goals is the areas of professional expertise and knowledge that can help pursuit of the performance goals. So yung leadership goals naman is the goal ng mga leader or mas nakakataas sa atin wherein sila yung namumuno and usually ang ini-aim nila is yung success ng team nila. Let's say kapag kasali tayo sa organization, yung mga president natin ng organization, meron silang pinaka-aim doon na kailangan i-achieve. So, yung specific project nila is maging successful. And sa ano naman, life goals is concern your long-term happiness. It is monumentally important to include life goals in addition to performance and leadership goals. They include major financial, milestone, work-life balance, leisure, needs, family consideration, and any other important life matters you wish to address. So, ang broader type ng goals is yung life goals. Bakit siya naging broader? Kasi ito yung pangmalawakang natin, goals natin. Kasi nga, tayo yung kailangan na mag-achieve na to. And walang ibang, kung may ibang tutulong man, tayo pa rin talaga yung magsusumika para achieve na. Like, kung paano ba natin gusto makuha yung bahay na ina-achieve natin, yung work or dream na ina-achieve natin since bata pa tayo. And yun yung isa sa reason bakit siya broad, kasi nga pangkalawakan and pangmatagalan siya. So for the importance of goals, we have here the take of control of your life. Second, get maximum results. Third, create laser focus. And fourth, create accountability. And five, it motivates you. And six, be the best you can be. And seven, to live your best life. So, bakit nga mahalaga yung goals natin? Hindi man siya sa trabaho, sa buhay, or sa mga work na ginagawa natin. So, mahalaga siya kasi alam natin kung ano ba yung path na kailangan natin sundan kasi na may purpose tayo why we are doing it. Tapos, pwede din siya na isa sa reason kung bakit siya important kasi alam natin kung ano ba yung magpapamotivate sa atin gawin yun dahil na alam natin kung ano yung path na kailangan natin gawin. That's why important siya sa atin. So, ayun, mahalaga siya na malaman natin bilang student pa lang since dapat accountable tayo sa mga bagay na ginagawa natin. And yun yung part ng pagiging goals kasi na bawat decision na gagawin natin dapat meron talagang yung goal sa buhay para